They had carried him on a wooden cart, pushed through mud and dust, across fields and silence to reach the edge of the cremation ground. The man could not speak, could not move. His eyes were the only thing that still lived, and even they looked tired. Not from sleep, but from the weight of stillness. They laid him near the Aghori, who sat unmoved, surrounded by ash, skulls, and fire. The Aghori didn't look surprised, as if he had been waiting for him all along.
Baba, he hasn't walked in years. The doctors gave up. He no longer speaks, but his eyes, they ask questions.
The Aghori nodded once. The others left. And then there was silence. The paralyzed man lay there, half buried in his own body, feeling nothing and everything at once. And the Aghori simply sat beside him, watching the smoke rise from a pyre, as if watching the breath of the universe. Hours passed. Then the Aghori finally spoke.
"You cannot move," he said, "but do not think you are trapped. You cannot speak, but the soul does not need words."
He leaned forward, his voice low and firm, like the earth itself was speaking.
"You think you are broken, but I tell you this, you are simply still. And stillness, my friend, is feared by the world because it cannot be controlled."
The man blinked, slowly.
The Aghori continued, "I too have seen death. I have seen bodies crumble, egos burn, pride turn to ash. But the deepest pain is not the loss of the body. It is the belief that we are only the body. You think your legs define you, your hands, your tongue? These are only tools. The craftsman is still awake. You lie still, but inside you, the fire of awareness still burns." He picked up a skull. This man too once ran across fields, held children, spoke poetry, but now he has no voice, no legs, no arms. Yet he teaches more truth than 1,000 scriptures. You are afraid that you cannot act, but in truth, you have been brought to the doorway of the self, and most will never arrive there.
The Aghori picked up ash and sprinkled it gently on the man's chest.
This ash was once a body. It too resisted death. It too tried to hold on, but in the end, it surrendered. You too are being asked to surrender, not to death, but to the illusion of control. You are not your spine, not your nerves, not your limbs. You are the witness behind the pain, behind the silence, behind even the frustration. Now is the time to ask not why the body failed you, but what the soul is being shown. Why have you been brought to this silence?
The paralyzed man's eyes began to water.
You want healing, but perhaps the deeper healing is this: to stop searching outside, to stop waiting for the body to return, and instead return to yourself.
He placed his palm lightly on the man's forehead.
You are not here to fight the world anymore. You are here to melt. You are here to see that freedom has nothing to do with movement. It is not the walking man who is free. It is the man who walks through his mind without being touched by it. You are being offered a blessing that others run from, the chance to burn while alive. The ego wants to do, but the soul wants to be. You were forced to stop, but maybe, just maybe, it was time. Not a punishment, not karma coming to crush you, but the final class, the quietest, most sacred chapter, where there are no more books, no more teachers, only breath, only presence, only grace.
He stood up now, towering but tender.
You are still, and in that stillness, Shiva dances. You are silent, and in that silence, the mantra repeats itself. You are alone, but in that aloneness, you are never apart.
The fire crackled nearby, the sound of bones splitting in the heat. But the man did not flinch. His tears now flowed freely, not from grief, but from a sense of something open, something deep.
Let the world think you are weak, but you now know what it means to be held by the divine, not in health, not in glory, but in surrender. You wanted to walk, but you were meant to fly, without moving. You wanted your voice back. But now you hear what the soul has been whispering all along. And when this body ends, as all bodies do, you will not scream. You will slip through like wind through fire.
The Aghori sat back down and closed his eyes. And in the quiet that followed, the paralyzed man felt something he had never felt in all his years of silence. Peace. Not because his body changed, but because his mind had stopped clinging. Because the Aghori had shown him that the body may lie still, but the self was never paralyzed.